You know, when she first said it, I didn't even get mad. I just sat there, nodding like I understood. I don't get horny anymore, she told me, not even meeting my eyes. Just stared into her coffee like it might refill itself. That was the morning after our anniversary. Our 8th. No gift. No card. No anything. Just cold silence and an early bedtime. I remember smiling and pretending it didn't sting. Okay, I said. Thanks for telling me. But inside, something cracked. Not like an explosion, more like a hairline fracture that spread over time. I didn't bring it up again. What was the point? If she'd lost desire, I figured maybe it was just stress or age, or maybe I'd done something to turn her off and didn't realize it. I even asked if she wanted to see someone, a therapist, maybe. She shook her head and changed the subject. Said she was fine. Said I was overthinking. So I let it be. I stopped initiating anything. Stopped reaching for her at night. And soon, our bedroom became just a place we slept. 2 people in one house, sharing groceries, bills, and silence. But what I didn't expect was her cousin. Her name was Jordan. She was younger, sharp-witted, and had that energy some people carry, like they laugh with their whole body. She was in town for a few weeks and asked if she could stay with us. My wife offered without asking me, of course. Said it would only be temporary. Jordan and I got along too easily. Maybe too naturally. She didn't tiptoe around the tension in our house. She just walked into it like it didn't exist. Started cooking some nights. Asked me questions. Real ones. About work. Life. Me. I forgot how nice it felt to be seen. One night, my wife was working late. Again, and Jordan and I were sitting on the couch watching some comedy special. She laughed, leaning into me for a second without realizing it, then pulled away quickly. I didn't move. I didn't even breathe. I shouldn't laugh so hard, she said, brushing her hair back. Your wife hates my laugh. I turned to her. You should never try to be smaller for someone else. She looked at me then, fully, like she saw something. I don't get how she treats you, Jordan said. You're one of the good ones. That night, I laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the hum of the air purifier she insisted on keeping near the door. I don't know what part of that exchange stuck in my chest. Maybe the "you're one of the good ones," or maybe just the fact that anyone, noticed. But it wasn't until the following weekend that everything unraveled. We were hosting a barbecue, just a few friends. My wife was distant as always, glued to her phone. Jordan helped set up, manned the grill with me, even kept conversation light with our guests. At one point, I overheard 2 of my friends whispering in the kitchen. Is he with the cousin now? Can't blame him. His wife's cold as hell. I didn't say anything, just let the comment hang in the air. Later that night, after the guests had gone, my wife went to bed early. Jordan and I stayed behind to clean up. The kitchen was quiet. She passed me a dish towel and stood beside me at the sink. You look tired, she said. I am, I replied. Tired of pretending. She looked up. Pretending what? That this is still a marriage. Silence. The only sound was the faucet running. Then, softly, she said, I get a lot. I feel a lot. And I hide it, but it's there. And sometimes I just want to show it to someone who sees me back. I turned off the tap. Jordan, I know, she said, before I could say anything else. I'm not trying to mess up your life. I hate seeing you so numb. I wanted to say something smart, something noble, but instead, I just whispered, thank you. That night, I didn't sleep. My wife didn't notice. Or if she did, she didn't ask. Things changed after that. Nothing happened, not physically, but the energy shifted. Jordan started keeping her distance. She spent more time out, texting someone I didn't know. She still smiled at me, but it wasn't the same. It was cautious, measured. And my wife? She was colder than ever. Until one morning, a Thursday, I found her phone buzzing on the kitchen counter. A message preview from someone named Eli. The words read, last night was amazing. Let's do it again. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. She walked in a minute later, wrapped in her robe, saw me standing there. Her face fell for just a second. Then she snatched the phone and said, it's not what you think. I laughed. Actually laughed. Really? Because I think you haven't touched me in 6 months, told me you're not interested in intimacy, and now some guy is thanking you for last night. So if it's not what I think, enlighten me. She didn't respond. Why lie? I asked. Why keep me around if you already left a long time ago? I didn't cheat, she said quietly. But I didn't ask if she did. And I didn't care anymore. I packed a bag that night. Just the essentials. I didn't make a scene. I didn't throw accusations or ask for answers. I just left a note on the table. You said you didn't get horny anymore. I believed you. Now I believe I deserve better. Don't call me. Jordan wasn't there when I left. I didn't say goodbye. But 2 weeks later, I got a message from her. It just said, I saw the note. I hope you find someone who gives as much as you do. And if you ever want to talk, I'm here. I haven't responded yet. I'm not ready. But maybe one day. After I left, I stayed with an old friend from college for a couple weeks. His spare bedroom, a makeshift couch bed, the hum of city noise through the thin window glass. Not ideal, but it was the first time I'd felt safe in my own skin in months. Every morning, I'd wake up early and walk to the same coffee shop on 8th Street. I wasn't hungry, but I needed something routine. Something that said, you're still here. I'd sit by the window, nursing a black coffee that turned cold too fast, watching strangers go about their lives like their hearts weren't broken, like they didn't have ghosts sitting in the passenger seat beside them. My wife, ex-wife, I should say, never called. Not once. Not to explain, not to defend herself, not even to fight. And that silence told me everything I needed to know. What haunts me, even now, isn't the cheating. It's not the betrayal, the lie about her desires, or the man I saw messaging her. It's the memory of all the times I asked if she was okay. All the times I tried to hold her hand across the emotional gap she'd built between us. The worst part was, I would have forgiven her, I really would have, if she'd just met me halfway. But she never did. One morning, about 3 weeks into this new chapter, I ran into Jordan again. Not in person, just a bump in the algorithm. Instagram stories. A photo of a beach I recognized, Clearwater. A caption, sometimes you need the ocean to wash it all out. I stared at it for a long time. Not because I missed her, though maybe part of me did, but because she felt like the only person who had actually seen what was happening before it exploded. I finally messaged her. I hope the ocean's treating you well. She replied in 10 minutes. It is. But you crossed my mind yesterday. Funny timing. We messaged a bit. Nothing heavy. Just checking in. She was living with a friend, working remotely, doing some soul dusting, she called it. I like that phrase. Soul dusting. Like clearing the shelves of everything you once believed about love and starting fresh. Eventually, we agreed to meet for lunch. When I saw her again, something in me settled. It wasn't fireworks or longing or any of the stuff movies try to sell you. It was just easy. She hugged me, said, "You look better," and smiled like she meant it. Over lunch, we didn't talk much about the past. Just life, books, music, travel dreams. She mentioned how strange it felt watching the marriage she'd grown up admiring, at least from the outside, fall apart. "You really tried," she said. I saw that. Those words stayed with me. Not because I needed validation, but because I realized how badly I'd wanted someone to notice. Before we left, she handed me something. A folded piece of paper. I raised an eyebrow. "It's just a list," she said, "of things I hope you remember about yourself." I opened it later that night. It read, 1. You listen better than anyone I know. 2. You give people space to be real. 3. You make good coffee. 4. You're steady, even when it storms. 5. You don't have to carry people who won't meet you in the middle. I stared at number 5 for a long time. I wish I could say Jordan and I fell into some whirlwind romance. That we rode off into the sunset, found healing in each other, proved the universe wrong. But life's rarely that cinematic. Instead, we became something quieter. Phone calls, occasional dinners, 2 people learning to exist without performance. She told me about a bad relationship she'd been in before, how it made her shrink. I told her how my marriage had made me feel invisible. We both laughed a little too hard at our mutual scars. It felt good, though, honest. Meanwhile, I was slowly rebuilding. I met with a therapist, started running again, called my mom more often, moved into a small apartment with too much natural light and not enough furniture. But it was mine. Every inch of it reminded me that I'd left, that I'd chosen myself. And then, one morning, I got a letter in the mail. From my ex. It wasn't handwritten, just a typed letter, impersonal and clinical. She was filing for formal divorce. No mention of the past. No apology. Just legal speak and deadlines. I signed. But before I mailed it back, I wrote something at the bottom of the final page. I hope you find whatever you were looking for. I hope it makes you whole. Not out of kindness. Not out of bitterness, either, but because I needed to close the chapter with grace. For me. A few months later, Jordan and I were walking along a quiet lake, wrapped in coats, the fall air crisp and sweet. She reached for my hand, unprompted. "You think you'll ever marry again?" she asked. I shrugged. "I don't know. Not unless it feels like breathing." She nodded. "Yeah. No more holding your breath for someone to love you back." That stuck with me. It's been over a year now. And if you're wondering where we are, Jordan and I, well, we're still us. We haven't put a label on anything. We just keep showing up for each other. There's something sacred about being chosen without obligation. But more than anything, I've learned to show up for myself. Because in the end, love isn't just about fireworks or chemistry or grand gestures. It's about consistency, presence. It's about the small moments, the hand on your back when you're spiraling, the quiet dinner where someone listens like what you say actually matters. And it's about letting go of what no longer feeds your soul, even when it hurts. Especially when it hurts. If I could go back and talk to the man I was at that kitchen table, the one who smiled when she said, "I don't get horny anymore," I'd tell him this. You're not broken. You're not hard to love. You just outgrew someone who stopped watering the garden. And one day, you'll find someone who doesn't need reminding how lucky they are to stand beside you. Maybe you already have. But even if you haven't, you're still whole. You always were.